They're cheap, they're popular, they're the Soundpeats TrueFree 2 True Wireless Earbuds. The only TrueFree earbuds that I know of that are $32. Let's find out if they're any good, and let's make it simple. Greetings and salutations, my friends. My name is Travis, aka Dad, and welcome to Dad Does Tech. I'm just an ordinary dad who loves tech and camera stuff, and on this channel my goal is to help you find the right gear and get the most out of it. Now, I've been a fan of Soundpeats from their early days. In fact, I have one of their very first sets of wireless earbuds back when they had these cables and this lime green thing back in 2014, I believe, and I've been following them ever since because they've always had a really low price tag, and I'm always interested in companies that give you value for your money. The Soundpeats TrueFree 2 come in a super low, affordable price of $32.99 as their retail price. Now, at the time of recording this video, there is a current sale going on for Amazon right now because it's the holiday season for November and they're doing their holiday sales for Black Friday and all that all month long. And right now, the Soundpeats TrueFree 2 are actually $24.99. So if you're watching this in the month of November, check and see if that sale is still alive, or wait for similar sales because they happen all the time. When it came to video latency, I didn't really notice any at all in any of the apps that I tried it in, except for when I tried to rewind or fast forward videos to a specific spot. Then it took a couple seconds for it to catch up, but once it caught up, it was just fine. I did try these exclusively with mobile games on my Google Pixel 4, and performance was not the best. So if you're using something like this for mobile gaming, you're probably going to want to look elsewhere or just stick with a wired cable because that's going to be better performance anyway. This style of earbud uses a rubber tip that goes down inside your ear canal that passively removes some of the ambient noise in your environment by sealing off the ear canal. The box comes with 3 different sets of these rubber tips, so you can use those to try and find the right fit, because the right fit is the most important thing to getting the best sound. Inside the box, you will also find 3 sets of wing tips or ear fins, because these earbuds do have a rubber ear fin that can be attached to the earbuds that goes up into the crevice of your ear and helps lock them into place so they don't move around when you're walking around or running or working out. I'm a huge fan of the wingtip design when it comes to true wireless earbuds. I think the wingtips are huge and they make the earbuds stay in your ears so much better. And I love that on these Soundpeats TrueFree 2 here that they've included 3 different sets of what look more like ear fins, kind of like a shark fin. And I keep having like these Jaws flashbacks right now. But it basically looks like you're putting a little shark inside your ear to lock the earbud into place, which is pretty cool. And because I was able to achieve such a tight, locked-in fit with these earbuds are absolutely incredible for running, working out, or going to the gym or something like that, because they stay put. No matter what, they stay locked in, and they're super comfortable over long periods of time. The battery life on these earbuds is a little on the low side, and not super stellar in my opinion. And they tell you in the marketing materials that you're going to get 20 hours of listening, but they don't really break down whether or not that's 20 hours on the case, 20 hours on the earbuds, 20 hours total, and it is 20 hours total, unfortunately. So you're only getting 4 hours on the earbuds and then 16 hours on the case for a total of 20 hours. Even though the battery life on these earbuds is a little bit lackluster, I will say even competitors that have more battery life and offer more listening hours, these still stack up pretty well against them because of the other things that they do well. When it comes to the case for these true wireless earbuds, the case is still relatively pocketable, and I'll say relatively because it is a little bit more on the thick side, and the lid has a more flat top, making it a bit more boxy. And as a result, it just fits a little bit more awkwardly in my pocket, and it's much more noticeable that it's in my pocket than when compared to something like the MPOW. The MPOW is actually not that much thinner. It's pretty close, but the rounded lid on here makes it fit in pockets so much nicer. And the same is true on things like Tautronics. They should take a play out of the Tautronics and MPOW and a lot of the other companies' playbooks and maybe opt for a more rounded lid or a flatter profile. I think they've got to do one of those things to really make this a more accessible case for somebody who likes tiny cases like me. But if case size isn't all that important to you, it's still a relatively small case and will fit into most pockets. Overall, the case for these Soundpeats is pretty well built. The only thing is the construction of the hinge itself, and this is the case for most, if not all, budget true wireless earbuds. It's probably the weakest point on the case, and you just have to be a little bit mindful of that, just because if you break that off, it is the only mechanism keeping your earbuds from either pairing or not pairing with your phone. The notification lights on this case that tell you how much battery life the case actually has are actually located on the inside of the case versus the outside, which I found to be a very interesting design choice. And while that's not something I see a lot, it's actually a pretty good design if it works the way you'd expect it to, where you open the lid and then you can see the notification lights to see your battery life. However, in my circumstances, I have yet to be able to get those lights to turn on when you open the lid. Instead, the only way I have found that you can get those lights to turn on and tell you how many charges you have left on your battery is to either take the earbuds out and drop them back into the case, or press the buttons on the earbuds until the lights turn on, which they didn't even there. And this just seems like a little bit of an oversight to me, and maybe it's just a bug on my set, and if this is not the case for you and you have these earbuds, let me know down in the comments section that this could be a glitch. The pairing process for these earbuds is super simple, just like any other true wireless earbuds. You simply open the case and the earbuds go into pairing mode and will be discoverable by whatever device you are trying to connect them to. Once you've connected them for the first time, they will always remember that device going forward. They only have one channel, so if you want to connect them to something else, you will have to disconnect and forget them on the previous device. When it comes to buttons versus touch controls, both of them have their pros and cons, and it's really going to come down to a preference thing to the user. One of the biggest benefits of buttons versus touch controls is that they're super reliable. If you press it, it does it. It's one of those things where it's going to have a lot less misclicks because you're not having to worry about it reading your swipes or your taps. If you press it, it's going to do it. However, on the flip side, one of the biggest drawbacks to these buttons, while the buttons on the earbuds are not super difficult to press, one of the things you have to remember is that you're still pressing a button, which means you're still pressing the earbud while it's in your ear and basically cramming it down your ear canal and saying howdy do to your eardrum. And that can get a little bit painful and a bit annoying. So if you're somebody who likes to use the earbuds mainly for changing the volume, changing your track versus using your phone or your device, whatever it is you're using, then you may want to opt for something with touchpads because then you won't be pressing so hard. They may be a little bit more finicky and less reliable, but it's not going to go smashing down in your ear canal so much. So that's just something to consider. It's really going to come down to user preference, but just keep in mind, this could cause a little bit of ear pain if you're changing the stuff all the time. That being said, the buttons on these earbuds do all of the things you could ever want them to do. They have play, pause, skip track, previous track. They have volume control, which is great, and they allow you to hang up and answer phone calls and even swap between two live calls. These Soundpeats earbuds are IPX7 water resistant or waterproof, and that means that you'll have no problems if you're going to use them in the gym or workout. They'll be fully sweat proof, so you won't have to worry about your sweat ruining your earbuds. And also, if you are somebody who wants to use them in the shower or at a pool or out in the rain, you won't really have to worry about that either. These things can handle it. Or if you're somebody who just prefers their glass of water with a little extra flavoring of earwax, yeah, that'll work for that too. No, don't do that. That's gross. Don't be that guy. Now let's go ahead and do a microphone test so we can see how these perform during phone calls, and you can be a judge of how they sound.
This is a microphone test of the Soundpeats TrueFree 2 True Wireless Earbuds in a quiet space, recorded into my Google Pixel 4 XL on a Bluetooth recorder app that I know simulates phone call quality pretty well. It has a similar amount of compression that you would experience on a phone call. In the past, using these earbuds, I've noticed some clicking and popping when I'm on phone calls. It'll be interesting to see if that comes across on these recordings or not, but let me know what you think of the sound quality on these. All right, now you're hearing what it would sound like if you were in a louder environment. I have some simulated coffee shop sounds going on, so this is what it would sound like if you were in a loud coffee shop. Let me know if my voice is still carrying over this noise or if all of a sudden I'm getting a little bit lost in this coffee shop sound? Let me know in the comments down below.
So I've been using these earbuds for a little while now, and I've tested out the call quality on a number of occasions, been both the wearer of the earbuds as well as the receiver of phone calls from somebody else wearing them. And from what I can tell, nobody's ever had an issue understanding what I'm saying. So they're clear enough that people can always understand me, which is good. However, often they can tell that I'm either wearing a headset or earbuds or something, because they say that it sounds like I'm in a little bit more of an echoey room, or there's like a boost in like the high frequencies to where it's a little tinny and like there's almost like a clicky sound. But it's never been an issue where anyone couldn't understand me. So for a $30 price point, I think they're totally passable. All right, we have finally reached the most important part of any true wireless pair of earbuds. All of that other stuff we've talked about, super important, but we've reached the most important part of all, and that is, how do they sound? And I'm happy to say that these earbuds sound incredible. If you're somebody who loves bass and you love that thick rumble in your music and you want that in your earbuds, I'm gonna say that these are one of the best pairs I've heard in a sub $40 price range that has a thick bass and also maintains a nice balanced sound. This thick bass is really, really rich and powerful, and the highs are there. They've definitely boosted the low end and the high end. The mids are there, but they do sometimes get a little lost in the low end depending on what kind of music you're listening to. I would put it in my top 2, maybe my number 1, under $40 as far as sound quality goes. When it comes right down to it though, you've got to look at the earbuds for the whole package, and they do have great sound quality, halfway decent call quality, a good comfortable fit with the wingtips, and they're IPX7 waterproof. They do have buttons versus touch controls, so that's something you'll have to think about, whether that's something that could be a deal breaker or if it's a pro for you. And then the only other things that I would say were the drawbacks were the shorter battery life and a slightly larger case. But other than that, these things are solid. And a number of you have been reaching out to me wanting to see a comparison of these Soundpeats and the MPOW M30s that I showcased a few weeks ago. And I am working on that video because I think it actually could be a really close comparison, especially since they're very similar in price and other features, and it could be a battle for the top spot for $30. Also, I'd like to get some feedback from you guys as the viewers. I'm gonna have a poll available on my community tab on the channel. I'd like to know what it is that you'd like to see more of on the channel, whether you want more earbuds and headphones and audio stuff, or if you'd like to see more products being showcased in the video, lighting, or camera categories. So let me know what it is that you want to see more of over on the community tab. And that's gonna do it for this video. So if you liked it, found it helpful, or mildly entertaining, go ahead and smash that like button, click subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.